This is not a ship. This is literally a floating money printer. Or at least that is what I want it to be. You loved my previous videos exploiting trains, parking lots and planes. So in this video, I am trying to find a new exploit using boats. It's a slower video than usual, but I think I found some quite interesting stuff in it. Let's find out how we can optimally exploit our citizens using these ferries by making them crazy expensive and forcing them to use. I am playing on the map Archipelago Heaven, and just like any playthrough, we're going to start a city. So I'm just laying out my first roads, and just like that I have built out our first road layout. To get to ships, we first need some development points to actually unlock them. So we're just going to zone our city for now. Some residential here in the back, some commercial along the main street, some industry on the outskirts. I guess since we have forest here, we could even make a small forest industry here. So we generate some resources. Then we need the basic services, a wind turbine and a small water tower. And sewage we will just dump in the ocean. Here we go. What a great location. Look at all the sewage just being dumped down the hill here. And we can already see it spreading in the ocean. What a great choice. Our first people are moving in. Here they come. Let's take a look. Oh, there's even transporters already leaving to import some stuff. And more people coming down this hill with taxis. Very great. This gets our city going. Let's quickly fill a bit more demand for housing as well as commercial. And quite quickly we have reached the first milestone. This gives us the first development point, but I'm just seeing we anyway need milestone 4 to unlock public transportation. So I'm just quickly continuing with some medium density housing, and with that zoning in, I will just add some XP using the developer tools to reach milestone 4. This doesn't really give us anything, but I don't want to have you waiting, and I'm quite sure any one of you can just reach milestone 4 without any problems. We're only doing this so I can spend development points on water. Next we build a harbor right here at this dock, and with that we can draw in shipping lines, connecting them to the existing ones, and then we just create a passenger line from the harbor to the outside and of course back to the harbor. Just like that, we got a functioning interface for ships right here. But now, let's immediately start forcing people to use it by just destroying the street. Cars, you have to turn away. I'm very sorry for that. There's no option anymore. You all need to arrive by ship. Here's the first ship that's arriving. 2,800 people can fit on this ship. That's a crazy large amount. And once this is filled, we will have so many people arriving here. But the clue is this. We're losing money, 70,000 a month. We need to make that back. So let's go on this line, view details, and we can increase the ticket price from $8 to $50. Just think about that. Everyone that arrives in our city has to pay $50 to get here. I hope that this will soon make up for our lost budget. The first ship here is arriving with 4 people. So that's the first $200 we're making. Oh, and there's just another ship passing by with 2,000 people. Just imagine that would be $100,000 if all these people were to exit here on my harbor. With that being said, let's make more space for people to move in with some medium density housing. I'm even going to add the low rent option. Oh, and here's the next ship. This one already has 60 people on board. Somehow we're losing people. I'm not sure how we can lose people where they are going. It might be that people are calculated as soon as they spawn in and that these couldn't arrive in the city now. And we're already profitable. We were just for a second once this ship arrived. I'm not sure if you spotted that. Let's quickly create the services so people cannot complain. We really want the city to be attractive so people move in. Not because we particularly want to have people in the city, but because them arriving in the city, just like this, now 30 more people makes us money, and hopefully soon a lot of that money. Look at that, everyone leaving here gave us already $50. That's pretty great. And I think even if they decide to leave our amazing city, they will have to pay another $50. And it looks like this is already the next boat arriving. No, there's too many people. This is not our boat. Back there's our boat. Population is growing again. That's great. So let's just continue making our city attractive. How about by adding some office jobs? In these offices, probably also the ships are managed. Then we can use a few of these special buildings that we unlocked, such as the tea house, the espresso on the go. We can put here in between these low rent housing buildings, and even a park. Man, these people have it good. Usually I don't give the people in my city this much luxury, but here we really want that many people choose to arrive in this city. So let's also make a few more industry jobs. And then there's actually one more problem we need to solve, which is cargo. Currently, no one can import anything because the only outside connection we have is this harbor. So let's also add a cargo harbor as soon as we can, but we cannot afford it. It's 500k. And on top of that, we're even losing 144k. It's not looking like a success so far, but I'm sure we can turn it around. Here's the next ship. Still only 15 people. That's not that many. And there's also no demand in our city. Let's try to fix that by adding a school, a firehouse. Oh, and that already took all of our budget. So let's quickly defund transportation, also healthcare that takes a lot of money, and education, just so we're not running out of money as fast. And budget-wise, if we monitor it right now, public transport fees are at 0, but a ship is arriving. And once it does, public transport fees spike up to 240,000. So this one ship that just arrived gave us a ton of money. I wonder how many people were on that ship. Can we see them exiting? Maybe not. That ship just left. Where are the guys? Shouldn't they be walking out here? I just got a ton of money from transport fees and they're not here. Not sure, but we're also out of electricity. This next boat comes with only 40 people. So it's time for a few more wind turbines. This is using up all the rest of the money that we have. So we really need to be profitable soon. Let's hope that one of the next ships turns it around. And this one ship again gave us some money. It gave us profits, but only at the time where people exit the ships. This is where we get money. So we are still losing a lot. To combat that, I need to disable the crematorium, probably even the firehouse. I'm not sure about other things. One way we could make money in the meantime while this is profitable is electricity. Right now there's only just phases of profitability. How about we take a quick loan, 200k, and let's quickly export some of the electricity that we have. Let's build a transformer station, take a cable, make it move underground to the outside line. That makes it now that we're exporting 30,000 worth of electricity, making a slight profit, kind of fixing our budget. But I'm also really confused why people are currently not really moving in. Maybe there's a new mechanic that things actually need resources, but I'm not so sure about that. How about we quickly make ticket prices 0? Does that change anything? It's free now. Take a ferry, it's free because we want more people. That's one of the issues we have right now. We want the city to be attractive, for it to grow. Maybe 0 helps it. I guess I can also increase the number of assigned vehicles. I guess we could also reduce residential tax to 0. And now we just have to pray that this works. But I'm confident it does. I've never had this many problems starting a city or using an exploit. I'm not sure if there was an update that fixed anything, but since you're seeing this video, there's definitely a turnaround point. And maybe this is the turnaround point. I just got demand for housing as well as commercial. This is the first time since I've been waiting. Oh, now commercial is dropping even though I didn't do anything. I wonder what just happened, but there's still demand for high density housing. So I guess we just drop in another high density building. It gets built immediately and commercial demand is back as well. Let's throw that in and quickly take a peek at the harbor. We have multiple people arriving now. I feel like more than before. Let's look at the line. It's like 30 people, 25 people, 9 people leaving. Our city is at 800, so slowly growing. Things are going okay, but we're still rapidly losing money. At some point, there's a necessity we have to get that fixed because otherwise we go bankrupt. Maybe let's throw in, oh, we hit the next milestone. Let's just throw in the special buildings we get from that. Generally, those have modifiers as well that affect the city in a positive way. And it gave us a bit of money again. I think that also makes our loan that we're having a bit cheaper. But generally, things are looking up. The city is growing, but it's growing slowly. I have waited a bit with not too much effect. We're still losing tons of money. I have reactivated the fees on the shipping line, and I think it is time for one last massive gamble. It might be that a problem is there is no cargo harbor. So let's pause the time, take a massive loan of 900,000 that costs us 166,000 per month. That's basically the amount we're currently making. And then let's construct a massive cargo harbor right here, get in a road, connect everything up, and install a cargo shipping line and see what happens now. That thing is connected up. There's ships coming and going. Oh, and look at all these delivery vans. They're all leaving the buildings. Look at them go. They're all going to the cargo harbor. They all want stuff. Are they exporting or do they want stuff? Let's quickly take a look. Oh yes, they are exporting stuff. They want to sell their goods. They want to sell them fast. Maybe this will make us more money. And here they go. They're going in. They're distributing their stuff. They're leaving stuff here at the harbor. 3 tons of timber, for example. Then there's the first boat coming. It's currently empty. Oh, I've never seen these small boats. They're new, I think. Usually they were just the container ships, like this one. This is a full container ship. This one's coming to my harbor. It's bringing chemicals and tons of other stuff. Well, mainly fish. Now it's empty. All the stuff is in the harbor now. And soon there should also be new vans leaving of the stuff that was brought. So these industry buildings definitely needed that harbor. I even got a bit more demand for them. And it feels like population is growing a bit faster than before. On this boat there's just 19 people. The next one there's 22. And then on the next one there's 36. So it could be looking up. We also got more demand for commercial buildings now. So I'll immediately fill that before it goes down again. And now we're just hoping that the time where we make profits comes faster than the time where we run out of money. Honestly, it's a city building game, but what we're doing right now here is pretty tense. I guess all we can do right now is just wait for another bit. Okay, I think I just found something that might save my city. It looks profitable right now, but that's only because of the public transport fees. So while my money was draining away, I played around with disabling certain buildings and also these harbors. And what I found out is pretty crazy. So I've just disabled both of these harbors. This saves me around 300k in transportation fees. But the ships here that bring my population and also bring money are still driving. So this passenger ship with 130 people on board is still driving. So right now we're kind of profitable, but also these harbors are not running. And that is also changing fast from time to time. So now we have another ship arriving and the harbor is out of service. But if the moment it arrives, I put it back into service, the ship docks. I wait a second until I see here the people exiting. Here they come. I just disable the harbor again. I can see all these people here leaving. This is 130 people. They are all paying their public transport fees. And then I just disable the harbor again. And the ships will just come, but I'm saving money in transportation fees. This seems pretty great. And just so you can see, this is actually what's happening. Here is another ship arriving. I will keep it out of service this time. And we will take a look at it. So the ship docks, then it registered, it's out of service, and it immediately leaves again. And it still has all the people it brought on board. So it's just gone again. So for me, I just have to wait until the new ship arrives, briefly put it back into service, and that's all that's required because the harbor only has to be active. It also works for the cargo harbor as well. So here's a cargo ship docking, now deloaded, and I can put it out of service again. This is pretty insane. Whether or not the harbor is active is only checked by the game when a ship is docking on it. So for most of the time, there's no need to pay the crazy expensive transportation fees of that harbor. I mean, look at it. If I put it back into service, it costs me 140,000 a month. Without, it costs just 3. And this way, I'm actually saving a ton of money, making my city profitable. Or at least not making me lose tons of money. And this is now how I am surviving this phase. I'm still slowly growing. I mean, by now we're at 3,000 population, and I just disable it again. And like that, the money graph looks way better. But of course, we're not profitable yet. I still think we will be at some point, but we're surviving now. I think we're very close to making a profit here. And right now we just need to be patient. We have a little bit of housing demand. I also have a lot of buildings still zoned. I made a mixed use housing zone here as well. I love how these buildings look. Let's build a second row of that and just always monitor for ships. Yes, it's a bit tedious. This is 100 people arriving. Let's activate that. And I mean, with 100 people, we're getting theoretically 5,000, but I think the game calculates it as way more. So right now it just spiked up to 180,000 public transportation fees. Then I can just disable it again and look at all these people arriving here at a harbor that is basically inactive right now. But we see there's more and more people coming on a ship, and as soon as we surpass maybe 500 people or something in that regard on the ship, I think we will be very fine and profitable with just this ship line. And remember, we're not even charging residential tax. That's pretty great. Our offices are running at a really low efficiency right now because they don't have enough employees apparently. Maybe that's because of education, could be, but we don't really have much money right now to expand education. So let's just go ahead and expand the city that we have with another area here in the industrial area, just so we grow it and get more people in here. For now, while I'm building, I leave the harbor active just because I don't want to activate and deactivate it all the time. We're still high on loans, but I think with city growth, we will manage. So I'm just now building out a massive new area. So I have much more space to zone, put in a roundabout. And this here very much looks like an area for some low density housing. I'll throw it in here, as well as some higher density and commercial buildings. The goal is just to grow the operation that we have going on. Also keep people happy. They're complaining about high crime risk. So let's finally add a police station. This takes all of our money away, but we're barely breaking even. And I think in some moments when the transport fees are calculated, we might actually be profitable depending on how many people are on each of these ships. And worst case, I'll just be taking out another bit of loan. Yes, it's a problem because loans just cost money, but I'm just so confident in the operation that we're running that I think we can make it work on the long run, even with loans. And here we go. This is the second where transport fees are calculated. Here we're profitable again, and then it goes back to the negative. But crime risk is going down. That means people are more and more happy, and hopefully that results in more people moving in. Funnily enough, trucks are not using the harbor when it's inactive. They still drive here, but they don't really use it. But some trucks exit the harbor in the moment it is active. But as soon as we'll have more money, all the stuff will be back up and running normally. But right now, we just can't afford it. There's no other option. Oh, and I just missed a ship. Yep, I just missed 90 passengers that could have been in this ship. But somehow I still got the public transportation fees. That's weird. I didn't get the people, but I got the public transportation fees. And now there's, for some reason, really much traffic here at the cargo harbor. But that might just be because I'm now also activating and deactivating it frequently as ships arrive and go. This is, yes, a lot of management, but it saves us so much money. Without it, I'm quite certain that we would already be way bankrupt. And this is pretty funny. Now we have a big green spike, and if we just wait a second, we're back in the negative. Maybe we manage it for a second by just increasing residential tax to like 8%. It's still lower, but that should put us profitable most times. Maybe not with the harbor active, but that way we're not losing too much crazy money. And I'll just go ahead and manage it until we have a bit more population. I let it run for a bit, saved up some money. Let's first use some of that to expand the harbor. Call me crazy, but I want to double down and add a new line to it to get a boat from another outside location. I have a drive here and also maximize the amount of ticket price and assigned vehicles. That way I'm hoping that when more boats arrive here each second, for one, maybe not more people arrive here, but I think the calculation of how much money I get is wrong, because there's now like, let's say 70 people arriving here and we're currently making 50k from public transport fees. But now the second they exit, it spikes up to 230,000. Like, where did that money came from? So I am quite sure that that calculation is wrong. And it might be that the more often and the more frequently I have boats arriving here, the more frequently we get that boost from public transportation fees. Just like that right now, we're up to 500k in public transportation fees. We never had that before in the city. And just now I have more boats than ever. And there's also multiple boats lining up right now. And like, they're not even carrying that many people. But I think that this will now make us a ton of money. So let's just continue doing that. And even on top, I have another large area here that we can zone. Let's just fill it all up with medium density housing. That should spike a lot of people coming in. And then let's also give them some healthcare. So not everyone from this city has to drive over here to serve them. And now look at that. We have boats lining up here all the time. And now we're all the time profitable in the service fees, which looks like we're all the time in the green now. Not switching over back and forth, looking really, really great. And there's just so many boats waiting here to check in the harbor. If the queue gets too long, maybe we remove a number of boats again, but so far I don't see any problems with that. Then let's just kind of continue filling the demand that we have. A bit more commercial, some more offices, and I guess we could even add some industry up here, as long as it's just a small farm. It employs, I'm not sure actually how many people does it employ. It's not written here as long as it's empty, but I mean, we have industrial demand. It should be filled sometime. Let's just build another one next to it. Oh, and there we go, it's filled. Well, it's employing just one person, but maybe it helps. All these people are joining in now. I'd assume that will mean the boats will also be fuller and fuller now. And I'll also reduce the number of boats on these lines just a tiny bit again, so we don't have these massive queues. I'm a bit afraid that that also slows down our entire operation. But profits are up, that's great. I'll use that first money that we have to pay back a bit of our loan. That will again increase our profits. And then let's see what happens here. So all these people that arrive here are on foot. And then I added a footpath here that they can use to get up to their new homes. It's a pretty long path, I admit, but it gets you there. We can even add one more shortcut here through the intersection, just like that. People can immediately cross here and move into their new homes that they have here. We're growing fast at 160 people moving in an hour. And money's looking great too at 19,000 an hour, or just 700 a month right now with crazy high public transport fees. But of course, taxes are still very, very strong. I will keep them raised for now until we get some of the money back. But money is rising anyway as ship capacity, or the number of people in these ships, is rising as well. So increasing the amount of shipping lines definitely increased our profit by a lot, because of the weird calculation of the service fees, which are now always on elevated levels. In parallel, since we're making this many profits, I'm gonna start lowering residential tax again, which still is our highest tax amount. I'm wondering, because usually offices are pretty strong, but apparently they are on quite a low network quality, which is reducing their efficiency. So homes right now is still the best way to go. Have a few special buildings that I can drop in, so I'll also be building them for the bonuses they give, just spamming all of them wherever I can. And maybe even we can connect the ends of these both different cities together. I mean, from the industry side, whoa, why is there this much traffic from the industry side over here? I mean, yes, there are a bunch of jobs, but where are these cars coming from? There's no connection here to the highway or anything. That's a lot of traffic, surprisingly a lot. But what we can do is let's rezone this forestry area just a tiny bit, and then we can have a road coming from here and then just reaching around and connecting up the city from the other side. So our city is now basically a massive ring, so people get around faster. Maybe we can even add another connection right here. That should make things way more efficient. Boats are still queuing up. We are still making good amount of money in public transportation fees. 800,000 right now. That's more than all of our expenses, but it's fluctuating. So if we just continue the city like it is, we'd be perfectly fine, but let me quickly save up for one last crazy idea. Okay, look, I have saved up a good amount of money, but for what I'm trying to do, I mean, service fees are still pretty good, I need even more money. So I'm gonna pause the game. I'm going to max out on a loan that I can take. I'm going to reduce residential taxes to 0. Now we have 2.8 million to play with. And this is where the fun begins. See, if these harbors and boats apparently make so much money from docking, why not add a whole lot more harbors? So let's say we had one here, another one here, and maybe yet another one here. We got a total of 5 harbors now. Let's connect them up. And we also need to get them all running by adding roads to them. I will give all of them services, that means sewage and electricity, all connected up. And now here's where the clue comes in. I will delete our existing shipping lines, the ones that are currently making us money. Then all of these ports will get the extra pier upgrade. You will see in a second why we need them. So another 100k for all of them. That gives us big town, but I'm not sure what that gives us. Maybe high density housing to generate a bit more demand, we'll see. But let's focus back on the ports. The route that I'm going to draw in now is outside, port 1, back to the outside. Then from that port, another line to the next port, and another line to the next port, another line to the next port, and another line to the final destination. That way we have 5 shipping lines. All of them need maximum ticket price. Let's keep it at 1 assigned vehicle for now. Maybe we'll change that later. I'll scrap that. And let's just also increase the vehicle count to the maximum. Maybe that will create massive traffic jams. Hopefully not, we'll see. For some, the lines are too short. I can only assign 1 vehicle. But the important thing is that the ticket price is up. I think I have set everything up like it is supposed to be. And I think we will lose a ton of money as soon as we start this game. So let's drop our last few special buildings that we have unlocked. Put them right here. Zone even a bit more high density, some commercial, some offices, maybe even a tiny bit more industry. And now I'm gonna start the time and watch. Either by the end of this episode, we will be totally broke or massively rich. I don't think there's another solution. Let's just go. Speed up to the max and let's see where the boats come from. I mean, they need to come from somewhere. Let's click on one. I think here it comes. They just get reassigned to their new routes. And we're already losing a lot of money, making 0 from transportation fees right now. And now let's just hope that things are going. So the first passenger ship is bringing 14 people. This is it here. It docks. Oh no, is this the first passenger ship? Maybe not. This is the one going to the second pier. So this here is the first ship, shipping line 1. This is bringing the people. I'm not sure if we can see them anywhere here on the dock waiting for their ship. I don't think so, but we see them boarding on another ship and then hopefully soon moving on to the next harbor and just continuing the cycle of docking and undocking. We're back to making public transport fees in the area of 400,000 a month. That's great. I mean, let's just go back to the mainland. I see I have a huge amount of office demand or like commercial demand. Let's just try to fill that as best as we can. And then let's look back. Our money is not going down as fast as I thought it would have. It's basically stagnant around 800,000. Slowly a tiny bit going down. I think one of the main deciding factors is how many people are joining in here on each new ferry and whether or not they annoy each other. So there is a new ferry coming here That now has only 3 people on it. That's kind of a problem. Why does no one want to join in here via boat? This is such a beautiful village, but even though there's not that many people, we're still making huge amount of public transport fees, but it's a tiny bit of our budget. It's even smaller than the loan interests we have right now. On this boat there's 17 people, on this boat there's 22, on this boat there's 55. So the numbers we have are like not zero, but right now it's not looking too great. I guess demand is also slow, but my hope is just that at some point a boat will arrive with more people on it, at least more than 8, and fix our entire financial situation. Right now it's even more negative. I reset the service budget for transportation. I'm not sure if that has an influence of how many people go on a boat. Usually it's just on the vehicle count, but these ferry terminals don't really have a vehicle count. So I am not too sure how that works out here. And I mean, on this boat again, now it's 117 people somehow. So there are definitely some batches where there are people on board. But right now it's really looking like the negative option. This might be the first time trying to export video fails, but oh, look at this. Now it's 900,000 public transport fees. I'm not sure where this suddenly came from. Am I getting more people? No. Wait, maybe there's a turning point? Really, right now, as of recording this could go any way. I have no idea. I've not tested this strategy before. Our population is increasing again. I guess that's a good sign. Happiness is almost at the max. Not much things we can do here. Somehow traffic is bad, but I mean, we can just slap in a roundabout and that should fix it. Mostly. This is on our ring road, and there's so many ships here in the bay. And I mean, all of our budget, we're spending 1.5 million a month. 1.1 goes for transportation. That's pretty expensive for having 3 people arrive with like this new ship. I really wonder, how can I get more people on one of these ships? That's really my core problem right now. I'm not sure what happens if I build out a small city on the first harbor here. Maybe that helps. We'll see. I'll try. So maybe if the first harbor is attractive, more people want to join. How about low density housing? That usually zones quite fast, and we'll see what it does here. At least people also have to pay crazy amounts of money to leave the city. So with still only like 7 people on the boat, I don't think that the service fee has any effect on boats. I mean, this does one thing. We are profitable in the weeks where right now public transport fees are at 800,000. Then it drops again, but every once in a while it rises again. I wonder if that can put us break even. I mean, let's just remember we're at 450,000 right now. And during the next minutes, let's see if it's really going down or not. I guess it's hard to tell with these large fluctuations. Now it's going back up again. 244, 245, 46, 47. Yeah, it reaches back up basically to the level that we had before. So we're kind of breaking even right now, but it's not that satisfying. I mean, the title will probably be something like Ships for Infinite Money in City Skylines 2, but breaking even doesn't feel like infinite money. It's crazy that this works, and even though the budget looks negative, I think we're now back to making money. I mean, all the time you can see it says monthly balance negative, but our actual balance is just going up. So I think we're doing something right, and there's some demand back. Oh, it's commercial demand. Let's try a commercial zone on this plot of land. I'm not sure what it does and what it will do to our entire situation. Oh, this is the move. We need people traveling between these islands to actually make crazy money. That way I can force them to use it if housing is on one island and jobs are on another. How am I only now getting this idea when we are so far in the video? I will definitely try that again, but I'm not done yet with all of my ideas. So we're making profit. We can anytime just get back to making a slow profit. What happens if we set taxation to -10? We might lose a lot of money, maybe. But my hope is that it will make more than 11 people move in on the next try. And now these shops actually have people, or at least employees, they should have to travel here. So just maybe that also increases demand for these shipping routes. And here's the next ship. It's just 8 people. But again, I don't feel like we're losing money as fast as we should. So I will just be running this experiment to the ground or until we are back over 1 million. I guess I could also induce some demand. So let's say we want to have the people that just work on some of these, that just live on some of these islands. Maybe some people just live on this island right here. Let's zone some row housing. And I guess that means we should dezone some of the housing we have right here. I'm not so sure what happens to my population if I destroy an already existing home. So these are all the people. What are they doing? Going home. Where's your destination? So they will just move into a new home that is already built. I guess that's fine. But what if I destroy even more homes? Look at these people. They're all running somewhere, spending free time. They're just going to the ferry depot to use a ship. Oh, there's actually now 30 people leaving the city on this one ship. Why would you leave the city? I'm literally paying 500,000 for all of you to stay here. So you should definitely be staying. Or maybe they will just move to some of the new row houses that will hopefully soon be created here. And I guess for now, I'm just gonna continue the dezoning and see what happens to my bank account. We are at 300k right now. I'm just dezoning all the residential buildings that we have here of the high density kind. That is creating some housing demand in the high density sector. That's a perfect opportunity here. I'm very open to building some high density houses. I'll also build medium density and low density here. I mean, nah, maybe not low density. That's too much, but we should now have tons of people moving over here. I mean, at least their houses are being built, and I'm not sure if they are coming from the outside. We will see in a second. But there's definitely now people moving to this island. And I guess since there's such a high demand for low density, I will create some low density housing just all the way back here. You can have your low density homes if you really want to. And now let's take a look at these. There's already 88 residents in here. Where are they right now? How are they just teleporting to this building? How are they already in here? I click on a person. Johnny Hammond. Where is this guy? Oh no. They're leaving from our city and they are going to this new place that we are creating here. That's amazing. And some of the first people here are already arriving, moving into their new homes. We are down to 200,000, but let's create more of the medium density. I smell an exploit here. It's maybe different or adjacent to the one intended, but let's really try this out. So it looks like if I delete homes on this island, let's look at all these medium density homes. I'm just gonna say, hey, you don't exist anymore. You guys need to go find a new home. Deal with it. Yeah, let's look at that. All these people leaving. Where are you going? You are going to a new home. And for that, you go to the ferry terminal. So you're probably going to live somewhere in these houses. Many new houses are already being built. This is where the people will move to. And that means that the ferries leaving the terminal should have a bunch of people in them now. I mean, this one, for example, I mean, it just has 40 people, but could be worse. This one has 40, this one has 80. So there's definitely more people traveling now. This one is coming with 80 people, but my population is also shrinking. And right now, again, public transportation fees, 800k, and just ships stuck everywhere with a few passengers on board. Population is back up and rising rather quickly, actually. But I think with the setup I built right now, wait, I was to say I'm losing money, but it looks pretty steady. It's going up and going down. What's happening here? I mean, this graph doesn't look like I'm breaking even, but I think I am. It's just that the calculation is wrong. I should be losing a lot of money right now, but I am not. So something is weird here because the numbers are just going up and going down. They're doing so many things. I mean, I could definitely survive and continue building on the city by just putting residential tax at normal or at like 0. I guess like if we put it at 0, the budget will still mostly be negative. We're making from service fees what we pay in loans. I mean, if I just repay all my loan, we're at 0. It says we're losing money, but we're not. Like, we're making money. If we just look at this number, It says that it should be going down. I repay all my loan. It goes negative, but it instantly goes back positive. So with zero taxation on residential, I'm making money, but I'll end this for now. I think there is a lot of potential for exploits here. I will try that in a future video. So I guess this video will just be called Trying to Exploit Ships for Infinite Money in City Skylines 2.